back to Kids Alive Church. I'm teacher Joanna and this is Eddie the Elephant, and today we are continuing our series on treasures of the Nile. Now last week we talked about Joseph, about his family moving to Egypt. All the Hebrews of his family moved to Egypt. Now this story continues from Exodus 1 verse 1 to 22, and the topic for today, lesson 4, is construction production. Construction production. So, what happened was Joseph's family, those 66 people of the family that came, they started to grow. Not big, but they started to grow in size, like in family. They got married, they had children, they had grandchildren. So this is Exodus 1 verse 1 to 22, many years down the road, hundreds of years down the road. So generation and generation later on. Okay, so the truth for living today is God sees. Truth for living, God sees. So, throughout those years, hundreds of years, God protected the Hebrews that were living in Egypt. He protected them, He provided for them, He made them strong, and so on. They also had favor with all the kings that were there. Now, remember, this is hundreds of years later. So now, the king that took over the throne started to get very nervous because he started seeing, there are so many foreigners in the land, millions of foreigners in the land, millions of these people in the land, and they're going to take over the land, I think, he said. And he thought, if they grow to be stronger than us, they might join forces with our enemies and kick me out and I won't be king anymore. So he thought that. And so he had some solutions that he thought were fabulous ideas. His first solution was, I'm going to make them all slaves. He's going to make all these people slaves, all the Hebrews. He wanted to make them slaves. But you know what? God saw, and God was with the people, and so God made them strong. And all these people who became slaves, they excelled in their work. They did so well. They were strong slaves. And so the king was like, that is not a solution. Let's think of another solution. The next solution he had was he's going to ask all the midwives to kill all the babies that are born. What an evil king, right? But all the midwives said, no, we are not going to do that. They gave all kinds of excuses. See, God saw, and God gave the midwives ideas on how to look for excuses to go against the king's orders. So God saw, and the midwives means people who took the baby as the baby was born, okay? Because those days there weren't many doctors and nurses who would go and deliver the baby. So midwives were the ones who would deliver the babies. And so the king asked them to go and kill all the babies that were born. But the midwives said no. The third solution the king had was to order a decree. He told all his officials, all his soldier guys, you have to kill all the baby boys that are born. Now, he asked that because when baby boys grow up, they will become men. And men, those men were strong men because they were slaves. And strong men could become soldiers, could fight against them. And that's not what the king wanted. So he ordered for that to happen. So we don't know how many babies were killed during that time. It was a sad time for all these Hebrews. It was a sad time because they had to go through all these processes. But you know what? God saw. God was watching them. And we're going to learn about different solutions that God gives. Answers that God gives later on in our next lessons. But know this, children, God sees everything that you are going through. See, these Israelites, they went through slavery. They went through hardship. They went through murder. Their children were almost murdered. And then after that, the baby boys were killed. They went through a lot. But God saw everything. God always watched over them. He was always there. It's sad what they went through. Now, this shows us that even though we go through hard times, it doesn't mean God is not watching. God always knows what is happening in the lives of His people. Listen carefully, children. Everybody open your ears. God is always watching and He knows what is happening in your lives. When you are going through a hard time, whether it's in school, at home, whatever situation you may be in, God sees you and He wants you to know that He loves you. Do you understand? He may allow you to go through some hardship in your life. There may be some hardship that you're going through and you don't understand. You're like, God, why me? Why? What did I do to deserve this? But you know what? God is seeing you. God is with you. Whether you know it or not, He is with you. Just like He was with the Hebrews, He is with you. So our friends are going to tell us the memory verse for this week.
Hello, Kids Alive! I'm Henry the Hedgehog, and this is
Noodles the Panda, and today we are going to tell you the memory verse for today. But before that, Henry's going to tell us the joke.
Yep. So the joke is very, very funny. I was laughing my head off when I heard the joke. It was so hilarious. He goes, why did the pig stop sunbathing? Why did the pig stop sunbathing?
Why did the pig stop sunbathing? Is it because it started to rain?
No, it was because he was baking in the sun. Oh, he was bacon, you get it? Bacon, like bacon and ham and eggs, bacon.
Oh, I get it. Oh, that's good. He was baking in the sun. All right, so the memory verse for today is Psalms 34, verse 15.
The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous,
and His ears are attentive to their cry. So it's a very simple lesson. It's about God seeing us and God loving us.
Yeah, you know what? It reminds me of a story the other day when I was walking and then I tripped and fell. But you know what? God protected me because I did not get hit by a car. There was a car zooming by, but I was good. I was safe because God protected me. He sees us wherever we go, whatever we do.
You're right. So, bye kids. I'll see you next week.
Bye guys. I hope you understand the lesson and enjoy it. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. So the memory verse is Psalms 34 verse 15. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and His ears are attentive to their cry. So remember this, children. God sees you. He knows what you're going through. He loves you. So remember that even though the Hebrews, they went through such hardship in their life, God was watching them every step of the way. When they were slaves, when the midwives were asked to do the murderous things, and also when the soldiers started killing the baby boys, God was with them through it all. And He is with you through it all. Amen? I hope you guys are blessed by today's lesson. I will see you guys later in discussion. Take care. Eddie and I are going to say bye-bye.